Anthem 3, O give thanks unto the Lord. Welcome to Anthem 3 in my attempt to write a new choir anthem every week for a year. I'm Kevin Mulrine, and I hope you'll enjoy listening to my progress throughout 2024. Please do visit the website anthem52.com, follow along on x.com at realanthem52, and send me a message to show@anthem52.com. This week's anthem has been much easier to write. That doesn't mean to say it's any more successful, of course. You'll have to see what you think. After the difficulties of last week, I decided to look for some more general words, rather than tying the composition to a particular theme or event. I looked through the Irish version of the Book of Common Prayer. You might be wondering why the Irish. Well, I can't remember whether I've mentioned this before, but there is a problem with setting the words in the English version of the Book of Common Prayer, because it remains Crown copyright. I don't think for a moment that anybody would be upset if I used some text from that Cambridge University Press publication, but just to be safe, I had a look round the internet during the last part of 2023 to see what other composers did about it. In fact, the answer came to me during a service at Holy Trinity Church, in which we were singing an anthem, I forget which one it was, that specified Irish Book of Common Prayer as the source of the text. This puzzled me. Why be specific about the source of the words to that extent? There must be a reason. A swift Google search revealed that the Irish version of the BCP is in the public domain, so can be used freely by anyone for any purpose. Good to know. Anyway, back to Anthem 3. Looking through the Psalms, I spotted, basically at random, the first few verses of Psalm CV. That's 105, to the likes of me. I wondered about using more verses, but the theme of the Psalms seemed to go somewhere I wasn't confident to follow, which may account for my lack of knowledge of this particular psalm. Maybe it's just not sung that often. Here are the words I ended up setting. O give thanks unto the Lord, and call upon his name. Tell the people what things he hath done. O let your songs be of him, and praise him. And let your talking be of all his works. Not very controversial thus far. To see if it made any difference, I decided to go for organ accompaniment rather than last week's unaccompanied choir setting, and I opted for the simplest key possible, C major. There's a shift to G major, which I think happens fairly naturally during an organ run before Tell the People What He Hath Done, and there are lots of triplet quavers flying around in the organ part, which are quite a lot of fun. It returns to C major, as you would expect. One of my habitual tricks is to overlap some text between the voice parts, and I have a go at that for the O let your songs be of him part. See what I did there? Overall it goes at quite a lick, and hopefully is a joyful and amusing little diversion. I hope you like it. Well, what do you think? As always, let me know on x.com at realanthem52, as a comment in the show notes for this week at anthem52.com, or via email, show@anthem52.com. I've had a bit of fun putting another progress counter on the front page of the website, anthem52.com, this week. You can now check in with how I'm getting on by seeing at a glance little thumbnails of the anthems which have been completed. Guess how many thumbnails there are so far? I don't know if I will always opt for contrasting anthems each week, but I have a feeling next week might be a bit darker than this week. Relentlessly Cheerful is great, but maybe needs some contrast. My first mystery guest might also make it onto the episode next week, so stay tuned for that. One thing is for sure, she will know a lot more about composing anthems than me. So I hope you will join me next week for a new episode and a new anthem, and maybe a guest. Only 49 anthems to go. But until then, the question remains, will I make it to Anthem 52?